I do believe there were aspects, there were times that I tried to not make it such a boys' club. I really do feel that I tried, but boy, did I fail. I really failed at that, and we just did not. Which would also bring up another aspect of the show, which is that the show was very, very white, and the show. Many people believe that Almost Live, that King had an idea that we're going to put a show together. So let's do a comedy show and let's hire a cast of people. And that is not the way the show happened. The way the show happened was that they hired Ross, and he was going to be the host of the show, and it was going to be like the David Letterman show. Now, I had worked on a show previously that was a music show called Rev, and the program director liked what I did, so I started doing sketches on the show that was, and Ross and I really had very little contact the first couple episodes until he finally thought, I like what you're doing and stuff like that. Pat Cashman was the head of promotions at King. Tracey was working in the human relations.
Yeah, I was a theater actress, but had to pay the rent, and so I worked in the HR office.
Yeah, and as people came on, they when we would reach out and when we would look for diversity, the thing was that and we certainly would never have used that term at the time. We would have never said we were searching for diversity, because no one would have said something like that at that time. But when we were looking to try to mix up the cast at all, we would have to find somebody within the building that was already working, that was already being paid to work on the show, or get somebody to volunteer, But a guy came on who was an intern, and his name was David Huddleston. And he got hired. Do you remember David Huddleston? Mm-hmm. And we were like, this is the guy, And he started, and he started just briefly in news, and he got snatched by the Minneapolis station because he was really good. And we're like, God damn it, that guy got, And so we're like, okay, and so, we would try from time to time. Okay, so finally, this is what happened. Finally, King at a very late date finally said, okay, we'll make some money available for you guys to hire somebody new. Okay, we were trying a lot of different people, and at that time Joel McHale became an intern on the show. We started using Joel. He had been an intern on the radio with Pat, and he had done really well with Pat on the radio. And so he started working on our show. And so we started using him more and more and more. And he was doing really well. And then he started doing really well. And he started doing these really good characters. And at a certain point, some people came to Almost Live that they were casting another show. And I said, there's a couple of people I want you to see, and I introduced them to Joel and some other people, and he had a meeting with Joel, and he said, that guy's going to be a big star. You've got a big star. This guy's going to be a big star. And we had kind of there had been this sort of we were looking at this guy, and he was doing so well, and so I just said it at a table. I said, so we're not going to hire Joel. We're not going to hire Joel. And we're like, there's got to be a way, there has to be a way that we can work this out, because I don't think we should not lose him. This guy, I think this guy, there's something to this kid, and so that's what happened. Okay, we kept Joel on, and we tried, and we hadn't found somebody that we really wanted to, that we really were sure on, but boy, were we really sure about Joel. We were more sure about Joel, frankly, than we were more confident in Joel's talent, I think, than we were in ourselves in many ways, that we were getting old. And we wanted to do a youth movement on the show, and we were trying to convince the people at King that, we'd be happy to leave if you had hired new people, and we think that there's a value in this, but that was not something that they were into, and so that was our. It was late in the show, and that would have been our chance to maybe mix things up. People would have had to have left. And we would have made different decisions, and that's the decision that we made. And I don't know that that's the right decision, but that's how we came to that decision. I just have taken really a lot of stock in just what that building looked like, the King in general, and the other stations that we worked at. And there was no reason for them to look that way. There's just a lot of people just doing the day-to-day job that anyone could do. It would have been a lot better if those buildings represented the community better. It's certainly where I grew up, the neighborhood that I grew up in, Franklin High School, Sharpless Junior High School, Aki Kurosi is his name now. But Seattle downtown doesn't look like the south end of Seattle, where I came from.